going to Dubai was a little bit easier for me because I have the network. So starting business, I had people that I could ask questions to. Like as soon as I got there, I was rubbing shoulders with multi-millionaires. Like that was a normal process.
But how did you get that network? Because you didn't know anyone out there.
Good question. I'll say the wild statement and then I'll explain it. Like I'm very easily one phone call away from Jay-Z, from Diddy, from whoever, bro. Gary V. Like very easily.
Yo, my people, welcome back to the Venture Room, the #1 platform for aspiring entrepreneurs. So today, we've got two entrepreneurs that have one of the fastest sales training agencies in Dubai. And I want to find out how they did it and what opportunities there are for you. But first, I'll let them introduce themselves. How you doing?
Yeah. What's going on, bro, man?
What's going on? The smoothest intro what we got there.
In the building.
Good, man.
Nah, it
We're in
all
the
counts.
building,
It all counts.
We're in the building,
I
man.
know
I just
you
want to
lot
make sure that you got me good. That you
Yeah?
picked up good, yeah.
Yeah, no, we can hear you. How you lot doing, man?
All good, bro.
Good, man.
Welcome back to London, man.
Yeah.
Thank
yeah.
you.
Sunny,
Thank you.
sunny,
Tris
sunny
don't get on so well with London. But
Yeah, no, I love London. London.
London's good, man.
No, I
It's
love
a bit
London.
grey today,
100%.
but it's good.
I think the weather's good today. I can't lie. I was down there. I was sitting. I was looking at the Thames. Like, I was really in my little tourist
Is
bag,
it?
bro.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
sitting there for ages.
Nice around here.
It's a nice
Yeah,
area.
yeah,
It's
100%.
inspirational, man.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So what you been up to? I know you have a late night yesterday.
Yeah, I did, man.
Yeah.
Can't lie. 2 hours sleep. Yesterday we flew in for the Gen Z Club Careers Fair.
Okay.
Basically, big up Gen Z. Really, really good turnout. We went down there, shellings on shellings on shellings.
That's all we do.
Yeah.
We can't do anything else.
I saw the stories, man.
Yeah,
High
yeah.
energy. I like
Shellings
it.
100%. 100%.
Cam said yesterday, even when we tried to not shell.
Yeah. I didn't mean
Is
to.
it?
And I didn't mean to. I didn't want to do that. It just happened
just happens,
naturally.
innit?
Yeah,
Naturally.
sometimes.
I feel like you lot are used to the camera now, like you're pros.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah,
100%. That's what we do, man.
So tell me a bit about the business, man. So I know it's called the Niche Group. Where's the name come from? What's the business model?
Cool. So Niche Group, I mean, effectively, it kind of came from, it's a result of me and Cam meeting. Like his whole thing prior to us doing business was just very much like, find your niche down. Like that's just Cam's thing. Like don't spread yourself too thin kind of thing. Like don't be the jack of all trades. So he kind of opened my eyes to doing less. Do you know what I mean? In the sense of like when
doing
we
less
met,
to get more.
doing less to get more.
Yeah.
Because when we met, like I was doing loads. Do you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And
yeah,
he was doing literally one thing and killing it. So niche was kind of a word we just threw around, and then I don't know how we actually.
Do you know what happened? I remember we were working and then we were like, do you know what you should do? You said it to me. This is early doors.
Yeah,
You're like, you should start a business called Niche Group. I've got the branding all in my head. You should do, and then you should do this, and then you should do that, and then you should do. And then it was like, it was a sick idea. I was like,
Yeah.
all right,
It's
cool.
like
I'm
the
gonna
light
do
bulb
that.
moment, isn't it?
Yeah. And then Trist was like, no, let's do it together. And then we were like, all right, cool. And then that was that.
It's quite scary bringing on a partner, though, isn't it? Like it's quite.
Nah, not
Unless you
for us.
trust
Do you know why? It came so naturally. Like it came so naturally. It was. We both were just once we met, we started hanging around each other every day and working together every day. So then it was really natural. Like there was actually no formal conversation of let's be partners. It was just the business started to merge, and then I'd have a client and I'd be like, oh, they need help with sales. And then Tris might help them with sales, and then he'd have a client and say they need help with this, and then I'd help them with that. And it was just, we were breaking so much bread together that it didn't actually make sense. At the end of the month, we'd calculate, oh wait, so I took a client for this much and I've got 10K that I need to send to you, and you've got this. And it was like, oh my gosh, like let's just do one thing together, combine it. So it was seamless. I can see how it can be difficult, but with our circumstances, I can't lie, it was actually very easy.
So what's your background then from before Niche Group? Like?
Yeah, so before Niche Group, I just had an agency. That was my thing. But like I said, I was just one thing. That was all I did. So I did like the typical SMMA stuff, and I was doing that for about 4 years. Now, when I was doing it, the niche that you were meant to be in was e-commerce. And I say meant to be because I know we were talking a bit before, but it's about there's always something that you like is a social norm in the space. It's like, this is the way to make money. The only way to make money is in e-commerce. So I just followed suit, and I realized that I don't actually like working with e-commerce brands. But what I do like doing is I really like sales and I really like getting clients. But I didn't like working with them.
Why not? Was it just?
Do you know what it used to be? With e-commerce brands, they make a lot of money and you make them a lot of money, but it's like It's like they're never happy, man. Like if I was gonna try and say it nicely, they're never happy, bro. You like, and you'd make them loads, and you wouldn't charge much. So there'd be some clients I had where I'm making them 50, 100K a month, and I'm charging 2K a month. And then we'd have one month where we might make them 35K, and they're like, oh no, that's it, we're gone. Bear in mind, there's all these changes on Facebook that I'm having to deal with that they don't know about, which they don't have to know about, but like everything's changed today, and Facebook didn't give an update, and your ad account went down, and this happened, and that. Like so many things happened. There's so many moving parts that they didn't appreciate, and I was like, nah, man, I don't like this. So then I pivoted into working with agencies and helping people get clients. So that was my thing. I'd take on one-to-one clients and I'd help them sign clients. So I'd help them with their outreach and I'd also help them with their sales. And then naturally, like I said, that just kind of came into what me and Trist started doing together.
Oh, mad. And then what's your background before?
So my background is sales. I've always been high ticket sales. Like I got into high ticket sales when I was 19. And then right up until 2018. All I ever did was sales. Did sales myself, and then I became a sales trainer. I started training a lot of companies around the sort of square mile in London in high ticket industry. And then I kind of went on a bit of a hiatus because it was like when you've been doing the same thing for almost like 10 years, and it was just it started to get a bit more like it was just money. There was I wasn't able to, kind of what you just said before, like my creative flows wasn't coming out. So I ended up building a car wrapping company for like a year and a half, 2 years, and then ended up
name as well. What's the
Rap
name?
City,
That's
That's actually my business partner. Big up TE. He come up with that, and then when I met him, it's like I just ended up going back to sales. Like I can't get away from sales, so it's just always been sales, bro.
Yeah. That's sick. 'Cause when I first started after uni, I did a sales job, innit? My first job, and it was remember binary options?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, they brought me into that, man.
Yeah.
But it was all commission, innit?
Yeah.
So they just gave me a phone and said, "Mate, you'll go and make your salary."
That's high ticket, to be fair. Like if it's done properly, I know there's a lot of firms that don't do it properly, but if it's done properly, that's high ticket, man.
Boy, that was hard, man, because there was no like leads list.
Oh really? Oh,
You had to lead source yourself.
Yeah, that's
zero, man.
Yeah, that's
trenches.
They taught you like some
Yeah, that's
tonality
mad.
stuff, and that was it.
Yeah.
Take the phone, go and get some clients.
Where was you?
that's
Croydon
mad.
sides?
No, it was in Aldgate actually.
Okay, yeah.
But I thought it was a proper job, but it's a bit of a
is it?
them dodgy
A bit of a
brokers. Yeah. So, yeah, but it's a good way to start though, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Trench is the best way to learn sales, man.
Yeah. So what was the motivation behind Niche Group then? Why did you want to start the Niche Group?
As Cam said, like when we had that conversation he referred to, I was saying to him what he should do. I was like, you're the niche guy. Like he was becoming known as that guy. Like, and he was always telling people like, just get rid of that and get rid of this. Like, don't do that and don't do this kind of thing. And then I think what really happened is we both had a similar vision, and we both had the same level of passion towards what we were doing. And then I think where the kind of turning point happened was when I said to you that sales was my background, innit? I feel like.
Yeah, but I feel like that was from before.
I don't really know when the moment was. Like there wasn't really a moment.
There was no. That's what I'm saying, because there was no.
That post that we put up with the Jim Jones in the background. That was like, remember this day.
Yes, I remember
that. We put a post on our Instagram, and the caption said something like, "Remember this day."
But
this
that
is
was
the day
in-house.
we made the decision. Oh, was that?
That was because that was the first thing that we had done together.
In-house,
the business
innit?
was still separate.
In-house
up
is
until
our
that.
online community.
It was just a real, like, really, really natural. Like I can't even. It'd be a difficult point to say. It was like we were just.
I don't
friends.
know what the motivation was. It's mad. It's such a simple question, but I can't
yeah.
sit and say like. It wasn't even to like run it up. It wasn't even about making money. It was just like.
Do you know what? It just made sense.
Yeah,
that's
it just
actually
made sense.
no. I know that
just made
sound.
sense.
It just made sense.
Yeah,
because you know what it was as well. So he knows the online space like from a business point of view. That's what he come up in. And for me, my online experience was, I mean, it was business, but it was just more of a personal brand and culture and documenting. So I think I realized, okay, this guy knows loads about that. And so I was just intrigued by it. I just wanted to know loads myself. And then I got my teeth into it and I was like, okay, this is sick. Like, and on top of that, like I can make the money. And on top of that, I can finally, because I had built a personal brand for like 6 years and I never monetized off it once.
Oh, man.
So he kind of made me realize like, yo, there's big bag here.
Trist,
you know what
Trist
I mean?
kidnapped me. You see from when he smelled blood. No, you see from
Yeah,
when I
fact.
first showed. Look, you're doing all this online and you're not monetizing online.
Yeah,
See
yeah,
from when I first told him, he was like, okay, cool, come to my office.
Yeah.
He's like, come to my
I was
office.
like,
Then the
bro.
next day he would message me in the morning. Yo, bro, what are you doing today?
Yeah,
all right,
yeah,
cool,
yeah,
come
I
and
was
work. I was be like,
on
I'm
him.
working. He'd be
Love
like, yeah,
that,
cool,
man.
come work at my office.
I was on him.
And that
He
was
wasn't
it.
even living in Dubai. He was just there
Yeah, I was
temporarily
there,
at the
but
time.
every day he would shout me, say, "Cool, I'm going here today. Come with me." I
Because
got
you
a
know what
good
it
guy
is
for you
as
to
well.
meet.
I'm a proper craftsman, like, so I like the craft of things.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
found
yeah.
it just like
Yeah.
it was mad, like
Yeah.
the concept of it. And then I'm thinking, okay, wait, if you're doing these figures and you've got like, I think at the time you might have like 1,500 followers.
I think I had
Like,
maybe less.
Yeah, he had like less than that, and I was already, I think, on 10K.
Yeah.
And I'd got like platform and my YouTube and all these other things. I'm like, bro, wait a sec. Like, if you're doing that with this, I'm like, wait.
Yeah,
so what can
yeah,
I do with this?
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah, 100%.
But you know
Yeah.
what's sick? You didn't see him as competition, innit? You thought, okay,
Nah, no
he's got
way,
skills
no
that
way.
you don't have, innit?
Yeah.
So
That's
together-
what I think worked. Like, to
Yeah.
kind of answer your question with the
Yeah.
quote unquote motivation is we kind of like was the missing part to what each other needed. Like, he hated I shouldn't really say this, but he hated the client's part in the sense of he liked getting them on board,
Yeah,
but didn't
yeah.
like the delivery part.
Yeah.
I personally loved that. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't mind that. So I would be like, bro, let me talk to the client.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And
no,
then-
that's fact.
So anything I don't usually like to do, he'll usually do, and vice versa. Things
Yeah.
that's kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
why I
yeah.
think we work really well.
That's perfect, man.
Yeah.
That's
100%.
sick. That's sick. So I want to kind of take people along the journey. So
Yeah, man, let's do it.
how did you end up in Dubai first? Like, how did you get there? And
Yeah, so originally I moved to Dubai because I was a part of a project called Shisho. So it was a shisha lounge project.
Okay.
And I was just helping more so from a marketing consultancy point of view and just like helping them to actually get an influence. So I helped them with the influence campaign and like just establishing it, especially to the UK following. And then so the owner of Shisho was really the main reason why I moved there at the time, because there was an opportunity there. And then on top of that, we was in lockdown. So we was in lockdown. Ironically, I was still in high ticket sales and we started having to work remote. Ironically, I didn't know this was a thing, but we had to because it was lockdown.
yeah.
So for the first time in like 10 years, I now understood, like, I was working remote, like, and I never had. I was chained to a desk for years.
Yeah.
So that kind of just made me realize, oh, okay, this is sick. I can work from anywhere. And then the opportunity was there with the lounge. So I just thought, okay, what am I here for, bro? Do you know what I mean? It was lockdown.
Yeah.
And then I just went over there. And then I went over there originally because at the time I had an influencer management agency. So that was a part of the business. So I had a company called Brand Therapist, but we used to manage influencers.
Okay.
So when I went to Dubai, I took some of the influencers on the trip. And in 3 weeks, what I got done was what I'd probably get done in about 3 months in London, like work, like productivity wise, networking and meeting people and just getting stuff done.
Because of the environment of
Yeah, like everyone's just like was just more like just yo, bro. Yeah, let's meet up today. Like, where you now, bro?
Yeah,
Meet me
yeah,
at 6.
yeah,
Like, come to
yeah.
my office. Like,
Yeah.
so I was like, this is mad. Like, this city's crazy. Like, I'd been there before, but I never really thought business when I was there. I just went on like enjoyment holidays. So then I was kind of like, now this place is mad. Like, and then obviously it's peaceful and it's safer. And then the opportunity came. I was just like, yeah, man, I'm out of here, bro. I didn't even think about it for long, to be honest.
Because I went to Dubai back in Feb, innit? Only for like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
It was so clean out there, and it felt like it was no crime. Like there's nothing.
Yeah. No,
The
there's no
safety
crime out
was
there,
mad.
man. My
Yeah.
safe city, man. yeah, no
But
crime out
also,
there.
it's like a concentration of like hustlers and
Big
entrepreneurs
time.
all in one place.
Yeah,
100%.
100%.
And everyone wants to communicate and network.
100%. Everyone's on a mission out there, which is what I love about it. So yeah, that was what it was, man.
Mad.
100%.
And then so you were in London at this point, yeah?
Yeah. I didn't.
We didn't know
Tris.
each other.
I didn't know Tris.
We only known each other a year now.
It's
Yeah,
a
we
year.
didn't know
Yeah,
each
yeah,
other.
yeah,
Yeah,
didn't
we
know
didn't know
each
each other. We met in Dubai.
Wow.
One of my friends had a yacht party and he happened to be on there, and that's how we met.
up.
Yeah, literally, man.
That's mad. Okay, so then a year ago you moved to Dubai.
No, I moved. I went to Dubai about a year ago, but I moved to Dubai in like March, April.
Yeah. And then talk me through the launch story of Niche Group. Like what led you up to the actual point where you said, boom.
Do you know what? Like I said, it just was making sense. It was just we were doing, like I said, we were doing business together, and then
No,
Tris was like,
off
Tris
the
was
back
like,
of the tour.
you got to come back out. He was like, you got to come back out.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm going to. And he was like, yeah, but you got to come back out. And I was like, yeah, bro, I'm going to. And I went back home, and obviously I wasn't, at the time I was planning to go back out, but then it was when I was home, we kept on doing business together, because it could have easily been a thing where it's like, we were there, we kind of ran it up together, and then we'll just go separate ways, because things like that happen, and it would have been no hard feelings. But then when we came back, he would just text me same way like I was here, bam. And we would talk the same amount when I was here in London and he was in Dubai. And then he came back. When did you come back?
I came back in March.
You came back in about March,
Yeah.
and then
Then we done
we went on a tour together.
What,
we're just
sales
doing pods.
trainings
No,
No, that was
just doing
pods.
podcasts.
But that was kind of like my quote unquote return because I hadn't been to London for 3 years.
Okay.
So it was like my first kind of surfacing. Like I went through a lot in business wise and personally and mentally when I was over there.
Yeah.
So that was like the return.
Yeah.
So originally it was actually just my tour, and then we ended up like between me, Cam, my guy Jimbo, and S, who you see with us, we kind of ended up just. That I would say is kind of where it was birthed in regards to what niche group is now. Like it was kind of like the energy that we had there and the conversations we had mainly and the way we all was aligned with thinking. And then we was all wearing like the jumpers. And then I remember one day I said to him like, bro, cut the crap's ours, you know, like it's not like, because it was originally just my thing. I was like, bro, like talk about it like it's yours. Do you get what I mean? And then everyone had the hoodies on and whatever. And then after that, I feel like we left that tour. Like we was like, like,
it was crystal
the tour
clear
was
from
mad.
Yeah.
It was mad. Like
flowed.
Yeah. Bro.
And you know what? Even the fact that we were doing business on the road, we would take sales calls on the road. We'd be in the car driving someone on the motorway, taking sales calls. Tris would be listening in. I'd be listening to his. We'd be just giving little bits of advice on what you should do with that client.
The pivot really came. That sales call in Dubai, I remember.
That's
kind of where he had a sales call with a client, and I had never heard. I don't think I'd ever actually.
No,
heard
you
pitch.
hadn't. It was. I was on a sales call, so Tris never used to really get how I would get sales calls and how the people would get on, because he's like, bro, you don't have followers. I'm like, bro, I don't sell to my followers. Like, I don't even get on meetings with my followers. My thing was just, I would just, at the time it was Upwork, but it was email, it was ads. That I just had different ways of getting clients where it wasn't my Insta. So then I had a guy and I was talking to him, and then Tris was just sitting next to me. He was in my apartment. He was sitting next to me and he was working, and he's gone, take the earphones out. And I've gone, I'm trying to ignore him. I'm kind of focused in. He's like, take the earphones out, but he's not having it. So he stood up. He said, take the earphones out. So I've taken the earphones out. Now he's playing out loud, and he's just standing there, just listening to me like a hawk. Like he's not moving at this point. He's just listening. And the guy didn't close. But the guy probably should have closed, could have closed.
Well, you were trying to close the guy.
Yeah, I was trying to close the guy. Didn't close. And then Tris was going ballistic. Like he was going mad. He was like, bro. He said he needed to talk to his dad. He's like, forget the guy's dad. You don't need to talk to his dad. He was going ballistic.
There's clips of it on my Instagram.
He was going ballistic.
Because he started recording. I didn't even know he was recording.
Because what he was saying was valuable. He was going mad, and he was grilling me. Like to be honest, he was grilling me. But it was very helpful.
Because I smelt blood as well. Like like one, I'd never known how he was getting clients. Two, I could hear the money, and he was getting way more booked calls than I was getting.
And it was a high ticket client. Like if we're really honest, it was a high ticket client that was on the table, and obviously he didn't end up going. And I remember Tris, he was looking out my apartment window. He was saying, we can kill this thing, man. He was just looking out the window for time. He just couldn't. He was just looking out. He wasn't really speaking. He was saying, we can kill this thing. I was just looking out the window into the gazing out, you know. His eyes were black. He was looking at it.
Yeah, bro.
That was it.
He obviously saw your potential, innit?
Yeah, 100%. I saw the potential in him, and I saw the potential in what we could do, though. Because I was thinking, like, wait a sec. So, cool. Like, one thing about us, like, we don't have an ego in business, like, between ourselves. Like, so, and we say things very harsh. Like, we're very harsh with each other. So, like, I'm like, bro, you've got the clients, but you need to close better. Like, simple as that. And then he was like, bro, like, show me them, bro. Like, literally show me, like, teach me, bro, how you would before. Sorry, my throat's mad. So, yeah, bro, we got to a point where we was like, it just made sense. And then I think at that point, I was like, bro, if you've got 10 of these a day, or however many, I think he's doing like 5 to 8 a day, clients he had a day, and they sound like this guy, who I think might have been like a 10K deal, I'm like, my brother, let me really break down, because he had never really seen me train. No, you had at that point.
I had seen you train. Yeah, it was the reason that also it made sense is because I was the lead gen guy. I can get meetings out of thin air. I can get people to turn up to the call. But at the time, my closing could have been better. And Tris is the closing guy. So
he was getting the lead. That's what it was. Yeah, he was getting so many leads, and I wasn't getting as many leads. But I would close all the leads I would get, and he wouldn't necessarily close all of them. So I'm like, let's just put these two things together. Yeah, literally.
So how were you getting these leads in? Because you weren't creating content.
No, so that's the thing. At the time, it was Upwork. That was my main thing. It was Upwork and cold DMs. And then I built a cold DM team that would send cold DMs. So I could There was a time where I could book as many calls in a day as I wanted.
Oh, he was going
Like,
crazy.
as many
bro.
calls as I wanted in a day, I could have them booked. I would just turn them down.
Oh my god.
He was
So,
going crazy, bro.
So
Alright.
yeah, that was my thing, man.
Let's break down the business model a bit more. Like,
Yeah,
assume
yeah.
the audience don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
ABC, what's the business? How does it work? Like,
So Niche Group, effectively, we've got two arms. We've got sales and we've got recruitment. Yeah. With the sales, it's training, and then the recruitment is obviously like getting people job placements. So to start on the sales training side of things, my background is sales training and obviously how to get sales. So what we do is we work with either B2Bs or B2Cs, and we train sales reps on how to become masters at sales. The way we do it is underneath Niche Group, we've got a sub-brand, which is obviously what we're wearing, Cut the Crap CTC.
Okay.
So Cut the Crap is like the raw version of it. CTC is like a bit polished, but it's
Okay.
still all the same thing.
yeah.
That is our mantra. It's like our ethos, our brand.
Yeah.
It's the way we are as people anyway, but it's also the way we train in sales. So the style of training is very raw, it's very authentic, it's very like there's no polish really. It's just like let's just get to it. Again, I came up in sales within the trenches, so for me, I've just literally taken everything I learned over the last 11 years, training wise as well as actually selling.
Yeah.
And we've now, if anything, this is the most polished my sales training has ever been in the last 11 years.
Mad.
And that's because now we're presenting to people, we're going
yeah.
into companies, we're in boardrooms. It's a little bit more polished, but we're still raw though. Like our thing is still like, we might swear, we might talk a bit of slang, we might, like yesterday when we was at Gen Z, like I played them a live sales call. I'm saying like, listen to the way he's talking to her. It sounds like he's taking her for an idiot. Everyone starts laughing because that's our style of sales. Do you know what I mean?
Wow, yeah.
The reason why it's our style of training sales is just because of the fact that the way that I always learn and the way I trained people was get to the point and build actual connections with people. And I looked online, and when you look on the online space for like sales training, there's a lot of wishy-washy, like it's a lot of fluff. There's a lot of obviously algorithm-wise and social media-wise, it does well because the clips are short and sweet and they're engaging, but I'm a craftsman. I love the craft of sales. So when I look at what these people are doing, a lot of them, they're teaching people how to sell in a very robotic, scripted, no personality way. And I don't like it because I love the industry and I also love what sales can do for you. So we've realized that, and we said, you know what, we're gonna come in and we're gonna revolutionize the space. Like there's no one, like I'll go out on a limb and say there's actually no one in the sales training space, whether we talk UK or US, that looks like us, feels like us, and talks like us. There's no one.
But that's the thing I like is that you haven't changed yourself, because usually, like, you know, you have your work self and then your real self.
Yeah.
It seems like you guys are just yourself everywhere.
100%. That's our thing.
Yeah.
People connect with that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
man.
works. It works.
That's our
and
thing.
It's
That's what Cut the
it's-
Crap's all about. Like Cut the Crap came from a lot of diversity and downfalls and hitting the bottom again and bouncing back and then
100%.
and taking off the mask and it's being real, bro.
100%. Do you know what though? What I will say, even sometimes there can even be a struggle with things. So even sometimes, obviously we cut the crap, but there's sometimes we'll make a video like there's a few videos we've made where we won't drop them because it's like that isn't us, man. Like that's scripted.
Yeah.
Or we'll try and make sometimes when
yeah.
we try and make things too perfect and polished and we put too much thought into it, it's like we can't let that out because. Something that I always say is if
sound
we
like
put it
them
out,
boys.
we'll sound like those
Yeah,
other
we
boys.
sound
That's
like
always
them
what I say.
boys,
We'll sound
yeah.
like those other boys, and we're very conscious of just sounding like us and not conforming to what the general like consensus is.
Yeah, just being yourself.
Fact.
And people
100%.
connect with that as well.
Yeah, man,
Big fact.
100%.
Yeah. So in terms of like the money, how do you make the commissions on? How does that work?
So okay, so to elaborate a bit further, so from the sales training point of view, so I kind of digressed a bit. So we go into either companies or we have obviously online academies, which I'll speak about shortly. So from a going into companies point of view, like we've got real estate clients in Dubai where we go into the company and we'll train them and we'll help them to become better at sales. That could be once a week, once a month, dependent. We've got online courses that were done prior to our recent academy. That was what we called a Cut the Crap boot camp. So that is 12 weeks of sales training, all online. And then if they wanted to go for a booster, they'll get a one-to-one basis. So they go on one-to-one calls with me on a weekly basis. We'll break down calls. We'll teach them everything from introduction, tonality, how to close, objection handling, mindset, NLP, psychological aspects, everything. You name it. Our sales training approach is very, very in-depth. And what I mean by that is we speak a lot about the psychological aspect, neuro-linguistic, like how people think, why people make decisions. Not which you're from marketing background, so you probably hear a lot about it yourself. So that's the sales training side, and then from a recruitment point of view, to give you the story. So we was doing just sales training, and what was happening is that every time I'll get on a call with a client, like a lot of our clients were starting to either need salespeople or they would have training themselves and they would get quite frustrated because a lot of business owners, like what you'll find is that we're caught up with the business. So having to sell and run the business can be a bit draining, especially if you don't love it. So we found that a lot of our clients would run the businesses, they're scaling the business, but they haven't got time to sell. So they either wanted sales, they would start off trying to get trained, but then it got to a point where they're like, you know what, I just want salespeople. And then there was about a 2-3 week time frame where even about 4 or 5 days, about 3 clients said to me, do you know about remote closing, or could you get me any closers? And he was getting it as well with his clients. Now I'm saying to him, what's this remote closing space like? What's everyone talking about it? And he's saying like, bro, it's huge in like America. It's big everywhere, but it's a bit more dominant. They're a bit more advanced.
I'd never heard of remote closing.
Well, there you go. And what we're starting to find, especially like being on the road and meeting people and stuff, is that people don't actually know about it. Number one, because the terminology can sound a bit confusing. It is just sales. Like it's just sales. But it's just that you're working remote. Do you get what I mean? And the closing aspect is just that you're just closing the deal. So it is very simple. But a lot of these people online, again, the wishy-washy and those guys, they'll make it sound mad complicated just to sell their training program. We don't want to do that. So we want people to actually see it as simple as it really is, which is that's why a lot of our content, you'll see us in the desert with the laptop and we're showing that we can, it's easy, bro. Like, and I don't mean, let me clear that up. I don't mean it's easy in the sense of getting into it straight away, you make loads of money, but I mean in the sense of like, it isn't as complex as these people are making it sound if you've got the right guidance.
It's simple. That's always the thing I want to say. It's simple, but I feel like people will make it seem like there's all this red tape and these hoops to jump through just because they want to sell you on it. Like you have to go through me. We'll always say you don't have to. Like you can get into the space. You just might not be that good at sales and you might not have that good of a job. But it's not like there's nothing complicated about the space. You're just a salesman that works from home and typically you're going to be selling on Zoom. Like, that's literally it.
So someone that becomes a remote closer, how many hours do you have to do a week?
Yeah, so we'll let's get into that. But just before we get to that, I want to just kind of explain how we got to the academy. So so the demand was there, and I'm saying to Cam, like, bro, a lot of people are asking about these roles. So then I'm saying, okay, so realistically, because we already had clients that we was training, like we've got a database of people we've trained in sales. Most of them do have roles, but we've realized, okay, we've got salespeople who have now been accredited by the CTC system. So that means now, if we were to place them, we've got a certain caliber of people. We're not just your average recruiters who are just pairing A and B. We know what level they're at. Why? Because my background is sales. I know a good salesperson when I see one. So if I'm placing someone, I know he's good. Because one, I've trained him, and two, I know what I'm looking for. So one day we had a conversation, like all of our moments, like a light bulb moment, and we was like, do you know what? What about if we actually place them into roles afterwards? And then we was like, why don't we merge the two? So they get trained into sales and then we put them into a role. And that's where the Remote Sales Academy came about. Now, within the Remote Sales Academy, I'll let Cam explain this, because what I basically said to Cam was, what is remote sales? And I'll let him explain like what he showed me and how he kind of opened my eyes to things.
Yeah, so remote sales is, there's two parts of it. You can be an appointment setter or you can be a closer. Now, closer is always the thing that people sell. That's like you've got no experience, you become a closer. In reality, it's not like that. So if you've got absolutely no experience, you're likely going to be an appointment setter first, which isn't a bad thing. I would actually say it's a better thing to be, because you're going to be calling loads of people every single day. You're not going to be smashed down because you're not asking them for money. You're just asking them to meet with a closer. And it's just a better way of getting into things. So an appointment setter is someone who will have a lead list. You'll call a lead list and you'll get them booked in with a closer.
That sounds super easy to me.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's like the way to get into
practice
it.
hours, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the way to get into it. And yeah, it is kind of entry level, but you can still make good money. Like a very, very good appointment setter could probably make 8K a month if you're a very good appointment. It depends how high ticket you work with. If you're, again, you could probably make more, but I don't want to.
We've got an appointment setter making that, just for clarification.
Wow.
And he's 19 years old.
Yeah, so appointment setters can make a lot of money if the commission structure is good. And then the other thing that you have is being a closer, which is the guy that sits on Zoom and actually does the closing. Literally does the sale, asks for the money. And that's the person that is more kind of glamorous. That's the person that kind of gets the higher commissions. But as much as it is more glamorous, as a beginner, it doesn't actually make sense to necessarily jump straight into a closing role, just because you're going to speak to less people a day. So like a closer, you'll probably take maybe 3 to 8 calls a day. So if you're taking 3 to 8 calls a day, if you're good and you just want to make money, you just don't want to work that long, then obviously it's ideal. But if you're someone that's getting into the space, I'd recommend you become an appointment setter, because then you get those reps in. And then once you become a closer, you already know what you're doing. You know sales at the back of your hand, so it's easy to move forward.
So like a high ticket, what is high ticket? Is it like $5,000?
Yeah, I would say anything 3K and upwards. It's kind of like a subjective word, but I would say anything 3K and upwards. We wouldn't play someone that's selling a package that's like £100, even £1,000, because when you break down the commission, you just don't make as much money. So there's courses. There's like 25. Remember we were talking about before, like 15K courses, 25K courses, a 10% commission on that. If you're taking 3 calls a day, the maths is handsome. But then if you're selling something for £1,000, even a 10% commission on that, you're taking 3 calls a day. If you close one, you made £100 in a day, which isn't bad, but that's not what people want to make in this space. So what we do is we make sure that the people that work with us, they're selling packages at 3K and upwards.
And how much can they make a month, like?
How much can they make? Well, we say 5 to 15K. There's people that make a lot more than that, but obviously it depends on the package. So what we would say is what we would give you as a guide is 5 to 15K a month.
Wow, that's a lot. Because what I like about what you guys are doing, because I did a property course about 2 years ago, and I paid $2,000 for the course. The content was sick. Like I learned all the knowledge, and it made it seem really easy to do. And then the next Monday, I went out. Okay, let me just call some people to get these deals. 10 times harder than I thought. And it's like they kind of sold me on the dream that's going to be easy. And they didn't help me after the course was sold.
100%.
So I kind of felt a bit scammed. Even though I learnt the knowledge, no one was there to help me afterwards. There was no kind of aftercare plan or nothing. It was kind of like go out there. And so I ended up giving up, lost the 2K, and like. But what I like about what you guys are doing is you have like an after.
Yeah. Do you know what? A lot of courses are like that. Like that's the courses. They just think if they throw the content at you, then you're good. But firstly, things change. So we're on a mission to make sure that we update the content if and when things will change. It's not when things do change. Obviously, the system will stay the same, but there's very intricate parts of the program where it's like the best places to find jobs and the best. Those things might change. So if they do, we're going to be ahead of the curve. Another thing is that we do live calls as well, because we don't just want to throw the content at you and be like, all right, look, you deal with it. Some people might have particular problems. Some people, as well crafted as it is, some people don't always understand things. In a classroom, there's a teacher because 29 people might understand, but there's one guy who doesn't. Now, if there was no teacher and it's just a workbook, then one guy's left behind, but we don't want to do that. So we also, like I said, do the live sessions, and then as well as that, we put you into a role. So obviously you've actually got the facilities to make the money after you've actually trained. And another thing is that we won't even put you forward to a job if we don't think you're ready for it. We're not just, you can't just go into it, not train and be like, okay, I just want to get a sales role. No. You're at the end, you'll have to sell me and you'll have to sell Trist. Like we're a cold prospect. We're not going to be friendly. We're just going to jump on like a prospect. And then if you sell us and we think you're good, then you're ready to go. If not, we're going to tell you, look, you should brush up on this. Go back over this part, that part of your script. You said, didn't like that. So there's not really a way. The only way that you won't do well is if you just don't put the effort in, literally.
100%, man. So I want to steal some tactics off you today. So give me like an example of like a strategy that you use on a call, like talk about the tonality and like a certain hacks that people can take.
I think one of the biggest ones that people always seem to be a bit shocked by is active listening. Now I always say to people, like, whenever you ask a room what's the key to sales, very rarely, if any, do you ever hear listening. It's always going to be tonality and what you say. And I'm not saying these things aren't important, but there's nothing like listening. If you actively listen to someone, they'll teach you how to sell them. So one of the biggest tactics I would say to someone getting into sales is master the art of listening. And what I mean by active listening is it's not just what the surface says or what the person, if someone says, for example, I've had a long day at the office and there's a lot going on in the business at the moment, but tell me what you're going to say, and someone just carries on with that conversation, they haven't actually picked up on, okay, they're having a long day in the office, there's a lot going on in the office. What's going on in that office? Whatever's going on in that office may have affected their mood and their energy. It may also affect their buying decisions. And if they feel a certain way or there's a certain conditioning they're used to and you don't understand their buying process, you can't interrupt it and then close them. So what a lot of the again, like quote unquote, those boys do in regards to sales training is they don't get past the surface in the sense of say this and someone will say that. It doesn't work like that. What you need to really understand is what patterns they are playing throughout their head. What are they thinking about? What are they not saying to you? And the only way you really ever pick up on that is by actively listening. So I would say like obviously it's not something to necessarily give you like the words to say, but I'd say the biggest tactic or the hack is master the art of listening and understanding human behavior. Most salespeople or sales trainers, they don't mention psychology, which is scary. To me, that's scary. Like you can't speak about sales without speaking about human behavior and influencing humans. So the main direction I say to someone is, man, understanding how humans do things, why they do things, what's the process.
So true, man. Because I personally think that I'm an easy sell, innit? If you get me right, I'm an easy sell. But a lot of people push the product, the features at you, rather than thinking, okay, how can I solve your problem?
100%. And even the features thing that you said, like there's features, but what we teach in the CTC system is FAB, so features and benefit. So if I say to you, for example, it's hot in here, that doesn't mean anything to you. But if I say it's hot in here, which means that we're going to take this hoodie off, and now what that means, we may have to change the camera angle. Now it's relevant to you. So it's just understanding that, listing off benefits and talking about products and just product. You haven't actually asked the right questions first. He will tell you, like, when I get on a sales call, I spend the first 10-15 minutes just listening. I just ask a few questions and I kick back and listen before I even start pitching.
Yeah, I think people tell you, like you said, people tell you how they want to be sold, man. And if you don't know, then ask. Like, it's actually
it's that simple.
If you don't know, then ask. Like, I think a big thing, a takeaway, that something that I would always had is that I'm audacious. I'll ask anything. I won't feel awkward. I'll just ask. Like, if I'm not sure, I'll just ask. If something's holding you back, I would say, what's scaring you at the moment? I would just ask instead of just trying to force something. It's like you see when the kids try and force the wrong block through the wrong hole. That's what most people are like. It's like, no, but I told you this is good. This is good. Like, you should, but it's not. That's not what he's hung up on. There's something else over here that you haven't asked. So I just ask. That's literally the biggest thing. I'll just ask if I'm not sure, if there's something that if you're not all the way bought in, there's a reason. So I'll ask the reason, and I'm not always going to take that first answer. Like Trist said, I'll actively listen. I'm not always going to just take the first answer at face value, because some people might say, oh, I just need some time. You actually want to just find out what their problem is and then solve it, and then it's a sell.
It reminds me of watched Wolf of Wall Street a couple of days ago, actually.
Bad boy film, classic.
Bad, isn't it? The sell me this pen thing.
I
never really got my head around it. I'm trying to understand what he meant by. Because I did an interview about a couple of years ago, and I smashed the interview, nearly got the job. It was a sales role. Then at the end, he's like, oh, sell me this pen. I was like, oh yeah, the pen's silver, like it's lightweight. And he's like, no, sell me this pen. Loops for like 10 minutes, couldn't sell the pen. And I never got over that hurdle, innit? What's your take on sell me this pen? Have you got
the sell me this pen thing? Sick, it's amazing. Jordan Belfort's amazing. Like whether good or bad, like what he in regards to skill set wise, the guy's the GOAT. Like, if we're talking about just skill, forget everything else. I don't agree with the moral and what he done and all those other things that's attached to him. But the skill set, it's a GOAT. The sum of the pen thing is just, so in the film, what they're highlighting is supply and demand. Being again, so to really break it down, so what they're really trying to show you is that in the fact of sending the pen, you need to create a problem and then provide a solution. So if you remember in the film, he goes around and people say different like ways of doing it, and then he, I think the guy who gets it right, don't quote me, but he turns around and he takes the pen and says, write your name on a piece of paper, and he's like, I can't. Like, there you go, you need the pen. So it's a metaphor really for saying, like, look, create a problem and then create and provide a solution. And sometimes you don't have to create a problem. Problems are there, which is when you've got a really good product and you've really tapped into your market. The problem's probably there, but you still want to throw a bit of salt in the wound and then provide a problem. So I love that analogy, man.
So would you say ask questions first to find out before you start
100%. One of the just to like kind of double back on it, because I'm getting more and more passionate about this when I talk about it. One of the biggest problems I think in the sales industry is people are just not training people to just ask questions. Like, just ask. It's so simple. But the problem is that number one is fear. Number two is just not, the people are just not trained to do that. And people, especially I would say amongst the British sales industry, we're raised to be a certain way under like the British monarch, if you want to go deep with it. So we find certain questions mad invasive. We think things are mad. The things that we think are rude as British people is actually funny. Like when I train people and I tell people to say certain things, they're like, oh, you can't say that. Why can't you say that? Like the person's just said, oh, I'll get it done tomorrow, and I'll say to someone, okay, ask them why would it be tomorrow, not now. Now that to someone else feels forceful or pushy or like you just the person just said tomorrow. You're just saying why is it tomorrow? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the main thing, like, for people that are really trying to grasp sales is just understand questioning, man. Like, ask questions, be bold and ask questions.
Do you know what I would say though? I think people see sales as too transactional.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
when every
man.
time someone's selling, it's like they think that they want the money badly. It's like,
Yeah.
no, you want what I've got. I'm
Yeah.
actually just trying to help you. That's it. And
Yeah.
to help you, I need to find out. It's like when you go to the doctor. The doctor will ask you everything. He don't care. He's asked you when's the last time you had sex, when's this, that. He asks you anything. So he's just trying to help you with something. That's the same way we should be.
Yeah.
We're just trying to help you. And if we know it helps and you don't, now I have to show you how it's going to help you in order to sell you.
And I guess it's tapping into the emotional side of what they want.
Yeah.
So,
100%.
Yeah.
I always say to people, just a little analogy. I always say to people, when people ask me about follow-up calls, like how to do a follow-up call, and a lot of people find follow-up calls awkward, really, because really you kind of now feel like you're begging and have you looked at the email and that kind of thing. I always say, if I was to leave this room right now and I left my phone here by accident, I didn't know, you would do anything you could do to get me my phone back. Why? Because I need my phone. You're helping me.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you wouldn't care. You'd call Cam, you'd call S, you'd do whatever you got to do, message me on Instagram. You would do whatever you've got to do to say, yo, bro, left your phone here. If people, sales reps, started to see what they're providing, like whether it's service or product, as that phone or as that solution or as something that is going to help that person that they need, it will change the game.
Yeah.
That's why people are usually fearful, because they don't actually believe in what they're providing. If you don't believe in what you're providing, it's hard.
100%.
It's not just about reading the script. And
At
saying the
all.
right things.
I'm a bit anti-script, to be honest.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm a bit anti. I'm a bit anti-script. I'm a bit anti about the way that people position the script.
Yes,
So we so in our training program, we actually go through building scripts very, very in depth. We're gonna be releasing a video on it soon. So I do believe scripts, the skeletons and guidelines are important. But what a lot of people do is, especially in our space as well, in the remote sales space, is because a lot of people get into it and don't have any sales experience. Yeah, they don't get trained, they just learn online. As in, like, just literally by going through Zooms and doing the reps, which is fine. Like, even Cam came up doing reps, which is fine. But the difference with Cam is he always wanted to sharpen his sword further. But a lot of people just follow the script. Now, you can get, I would say, you can probably get 10K a month following the script. Like, you can. But at the same time, it's like there's always going to be something further than that you will never attain if you don't do more than just following this script. Do you get what I mean?
Whenever I've been sold really like patterned up, basically, the person's been so enthusiastic about what they're selling, it transfers to me.
Yeah.
So whatever they're selling, I'm bought in. Because they love it so much. The passion kind of transfers to the person they're selling to.
Yeah, that's what we always say. Definition of a sale is transfer enthusiasm.
Yeah. That's a good one, actually.
Yeah, definition of a sale.
Yeah. So if someone was like 21, just come out of uni now, they're starting from scratch, what would you recommend them to do in terms of finding those clients, and what's the first step?
What, in terms of, so they know sales already or they don't know
No
sales?
sales experience, they just finished uni.
First thing, you'd have to learn sales, because it's not the roles that you want are going to be commission only. Like the roles that you want, you can. And if commission only scares you, then you don't know how to sell. So that's the first thing. You should learn how to sell, and you could learn how to sell at a job with a good base if you like. But I would just learn how to sell any way that be, whether you get a sales trainer, whether you go on YouTube, whether you read books, however you learn.
Maybe you join our academy.
Yeah, whether you do that. However you learn, that's up to you. Now, after you learn, finding the jobs can be a little bit more difficult. You could find jobs on Upwork. You could find jobs on Instagram. You could just go on Indeed. It'll be pretty difficult, but if you know how to sell, then you should be able to know how to sell yourself to someone on an interview, so you should be okay with getting a job. And obviously, if you're struggling with doing that, then I know some cool guys that can.
Just to add to that as well, so we haven't really announced this yet, but by the time this is out, we would have. So we've just recently introduced a scholarship part to our program, and that's for people that not so much have just come out of education, but this is for people that are in full-time education and maybe can't financially afford. So so everyone is aware, the price points within our academy is between 3K and 5K. Now, not everyone can afford that, which I understand. And if you're in uni, if you're studying and that's you, but you want to get into sales, we understand that. So we've introduced a scholarship program, which is a drastic discount. I'm not going to say the price on here. If anyone's interested, they can get in touch. But it's a drastic discount that allows them to come into sales with the training. Now, if I saw what we provide when I was 20, 21, for me, no brainer. Because what people need to realize is, remember, sales is that craft that your parents tell you should have, like in the sense of get a trade, get a craft. Sales can be that. It doesn't have to be bricklaying, construction, and IT or whatever. Like, sales is one of them. So That's the mission we're on, man, for people to realize, especially the next gen. I'm glad you asked about that, because the next gen for us, like, to be honest, we almost are maybe leaving money on the table to some extent, because we are heavily focused on the next gen. Reason being, in the next 5 years, they're going to be the sales powerhouse. They're going to be the sales masters. Do you get what I mean?
Literally, yeah. Because when I left uni, obviously I got my degree, but they kind of sell you that, okay, you got your degree now, you're going to be living life straight after. I left uni, I was so lost, man. Like,
yeah.
I think I went about 6 months with no job.
What did you graduate in?
I got a business degree,
okay,
a generic degree.
Yeah.
And not doing night shift at Sainsbury's and thinking, I've been scammed. Like, 30 grand there, like no prospects.
Yeah.
Ended up finding a graduate job a year after, but there's no like help.
See, that's the thing. See what you just said, like, so many people relate to that. And we realize that. So like, and I'm mad passionate about this topic right now, because I feel like, and don't get me wrong, it's not going to happen overnight, but I feel like there's a gap there between that age group and then getting into the sales floors.
Yeah.
Like, and luckily, like, me getting into high ticket sales, like, there was effectively, it was a low entry point. Like, you didn't have to have qualifications, you just had to pass the interviews. But not a lot of people know that this is out there.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Especially from our background, especially in the UK, etc. So we just want to really let people know, like, aside of come and buy our course and join our academy.
It's not some secret society.
Yeah.
Like, but it is, like, at the moment it feels like
it is,
that.
no, it is actually, at the moment it is, but it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be.
Yeah. I think where you guys haven't got loads of content out there yet, people don't know about it.
Yeah, that's the mission now. That's why we're on platforms like this. That's the mission
awareness
now. Like, on our YouTube channel, we're about to drop our first video on there. I've got a few bits of training on mine, but yeah, like you said, I previously was more known for like podcasts and other things. So now, this is the shift right now. In the next 6 months, if we speak again, that will not be the problem
It'd be
anymore.
impossible to say.
Yeah, it'd be impossible.
But to be honest, I think the thing is that when you say these numbers like 8 grand, 30 grand, it just sounds like numbers to the person just starting out. They don't believe they can make that kind of money.
Yeah.
Because they're told that 50 grand a year is like sick.
Yeah.
That's what you always say.
8 grand a month just sounds like
it is hard to believe, and that's why a lot of the time we just try to break down the maths. It's like you're just getting a commission on a business that's already making money, and it's just a paradigm shift. It's like 8k to someone is good, but if some people I know, if we made 8k this month, we wouldn't be
Just
happy.
cut the crap, man.
Look,
8k keeping the lights on.
If we made 8k this month, we wouldn't keep the lights on. We wouldn't be able to pay wages. So it's like it's just a paradigm shift. So my thing is, if you're working at a business that's already making 150k a month, if you're a salesman for them and you're going to make them 50k a month, they're not going to pay you 10 to 20% commissions. Like they will if you make me an extra 50 grand, I'll give you 10% of it. Like, so that's all it is. It seems because I get it. It seems too good to be true. Like, it does actually seem too good to be true.
I do think it's mad though. Like, I think it's mad that, like, me and Cam have as much as we've ended up in the same place, we had a different journey. So for me, like, I was in high ticket closing or high ticket sales since, like I said, 19 years old. So within my first year, I'd made 106k, and then after that, I never made less than $250,000 every year. And that wasn't just me as well. That was my friends, and I wasn't even the top boy in the office. Do you get what I mean? So for me, like, sometimes when I have these conversations, I do, it does throw me a bit, because I'm like, I guess to some extent I think it's a bit sad as well, because people do genuinely think this is so unachievable, and it actually isn't. Like, do you know what I mean? It really isn't. And that's been my own private journey for the last 10 years. And now, if I tap into the new gen, which I've now done via Cam, there's a whole nother wave of people in our industry now that have got YouTube followers. It's like we may not know them, like American guys, young guys, 20, 22, 23, like people that Cam knows that online that we network with, and these guys are, bro, they are making ridiculous money, bro.
It's mad, but I think what it is you base your levels based on your environment.
100%.
If your friends are saying, $3 grand a month is sick, that's your level.
100%.
Do you know what? If we're honest, if we sold it at you're gonna make 3k a month, we'd probably sell it more.
You would,
like we'd probably actually sell it more. But I mean, that's not what
that's
we're aiming for.
That's actually really interesting.
We'd probably sell it more, but that's not what we're aiming for. Like, I want someone that's crazy enough to think that they can make 10k a month, and they're 17. Like, that's who we want to sign up. We're not. That's who we're looking for. So might sell it more, but man, that's.
So I think just going back to your journey now. Let's not kind of glaze over the fact that you went to Dubai, like a place it's not your culture, and you started up a very successful business. How did you feel when you first launched it? Like,
With
were you
niche group,
scared? Yeah, were you scared or?
No, so I think with the niche group process, like Cam said, niche group really is just like the result of just Trist and Cam's friendship, innit? If we're just cutting the crap, like, so it wasn't like an official like launch party, and oh my god, I think no, like to kind of tie it in, because I think I get what you're getting at in the sense of like starting the business in Dubai.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm tapped, bro. Like, in the sense of like, it takes a lot to scare me, man. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
That's funny.
no, it takes a lot to scare me. Like, so I don't really fear. I don't know. Like, I don't want to say I don't fear a lot, but I definitely don't fear a lot when it comes to business. Anyway, yeah. Like, I just don't. So I'm just a doer. I'll just try, bro. I'm just a big trier. So go in there. Luckily, I had a really good network, and that's one thing I will say. And even leaving the Gen Z Club yesterday, like I don't say it enough, to be honest. Like, 'cause I think it sounds so cheesy. Like, network is your net worth, but it really is, bro. Like, it really is, and I am a massive testament to that. Because I've always, any room I walk into, my network's really, really strong. It's really powerful, and I've worked hard to make it that powerful. So going to Dubai was a little bit, quote unquote, I guess, easier for me. But again, I've worked for that because I have the network. So starting business, I had people that I could ask questions to. Like, I had people that, like, I'm as soon as I got there, I was rubbing shoulders with multi-millionaires. Like, that was a normal process.
But how did you get that network? Because you didn't know anyone out there.
Good question. My way is that, like, bro, I can't lie. Like, me and S had this conversation like probably like last year. I'll say the wild statement and then I'll explain it. Like, I'm very easily one phone call away from Jay-Z, from Diddy, from whoever, bro, Gary V, like, very easily. And that's not actually a flex, because I don't know them. Yeah. But in the sense of that's kind of a good depiction of what my networking has done over the last going more than 10 years, 15 years, 17 years. I started networking at a very young age, but but one thing I will say, I've never done it intentionally. I don't sit and think, let's go to a network. Like, not to downplay the networking events, but I don't, bro. If I'm just cutting the crap, I'm not I go to a networking event. No, I'm more the type of person where, firstly, I'm very big on, like I said to you before we was rolling, if I rate someone's thing, I'll just tell them, bro. Like, yo, that's cold. It takes nothing from me. Like, I don't feel corny, nothing. Like, I just think that's cold, bro. And I think that's because I think I'm cold. So me saying you're cold doesn't take anything from me thinking I'm cold. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. So that's kind of 9 out of 10. That's usually how I network. Because then what happens is, 9 out of 10, they might reciprocate and think, you're cold too, bro. Like how when we spoke, and then now we're connected. You get what I mean? I've said you're cold. You said, I've seen your stuff. Vice versa. So yeah, like, in regards to building that network, there's that aspect which I always say is just value exchange, and the other is putting yourself out there. So, like, same way me and Cam met. Like, I have no fear in just DMing someone, bro. I'll be honest. I don't know why people overthink it. I don't know why people think it takes any coolness from you. Like, you just heard me say the podcast that the guy who I'm referring to, like, he's a VP at Universal. I hope I got that right. At Universal Music Records. He's just someone that I've just said, yo, bro, you're cold. Can we do a podcast? Do you get what I mean? So I think to answer the question, like, for people that want to know, like, what's the key to networking? Just be willing to just step outside of your comfort zone a bit. You haven't got to go crazy, like, oh my god, bro, like, you know, like, just yo, bro, you're cold. Another thing I'd say is don't come with your hand out. Like, don't be so quick to. I build relationships way long, like, for a long time before I start. Yo, bro, can we do this? Or yo, bro, should we do that? Just build, man. Just rock with someone. Do you know what I mean?
That's so true, man. Because when we started doing the street interview stuff, obviously I was nervous, innit?
Yeah.
I want to look cool all the time, innit?
That's cold. That's cold.
Yeah.
But the people that I've met doing it has been crazy. And
I don't think it's not cool, though.
It didn't feel cool.
I can't lie.
It's cool online. It's not cool when you see the person.
Yeah,
like, in real life, I hear that.
Yeah, fair. It's like doing leafleting, isn't it? It's like almost like doing leafleting.
But when I did it, I realised that, hold on, it's not actually as scary as I thought. Like, you quickly get used to the rejections. You realise, hold on, more people are saying yes than saying no. Yeah. And it's never as scary as what you think in your head.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So yeah, I think the networking thing, going back to like Dubai, like how did I do that? I already knew people. So just to kind of give a bit of context to the wild Diddy Jay-Z statement, what I mean by that is, like, generally speaking, I probably know someone you know. Like I go into a room and I probably know someone you know. Like I just know a lot of people. It's just been like that. I can't explain why. So going to Dubai, 9 out of 10 times, I probably know someone that someone there knows. So when I moved there and I made a big hoo-ha about going there, people would just DM me like, yo, bro, link my man, or yo, da-da-da's there, or you two should connect. And a lot of the time, people put me together with other people as well. So yeah, man, it's been a blessing, bro.
They're just basically offering value up front.
Yeah, man.
Putting yourself outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah, 100%. And just sometimes I don't even offer value. Sometimes it's just like, just give people, bro, look at what you said when I said to you what I've watched, how much I've watched, yeah? Yesterday when I was at Gen Z, I had a conversation with people and I was telling someone, our videographer, he does mentorship, and someone that he mentors, like I was telling her about herself, or telling this other guy like what he's done a year ago. He thinks he's mad irrelevant to me, bro. I don't like that. Like no one is bigger than no one else. So I'm very humble in that aspect of I pay attention, bro. Like I love if people are doing something, I'll check it out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that goes a long way.
I think especially in the content game, there's a lot of egos. People think,
100.
I'm too good to speak to you.
100. Yeah, 100%.
It's mad.
I hate all that. I hate all of that.
It's rubbish, man. So how comes you didn't do more content then? What stops you from like...
Not stops me. I just, you see, before I did business, I didn't have a picture of myself online. Like, I wasn't that guy. I'm not out there as a person. It's like I'm very quiet. I would go into a room, I'm just quiet. Like that's just my thing. I'm not really super out there. I'm not shy. Like if someone wanted to get me to talk, I'll talk. I'll get on stage and talk. But just naturally, I'm quite quiet. So I just think that comes off in everything I do. It's like we just done the Gen Z event. We've just come here. I'm gonna go back and see my mom, and I'm not gonna tell her about this. I'm just gonna say it was alright.
Oh,
like that's just my thing. I'm not gonna tell anyone. I just don't. I just do things and I don't tell anyone, and that just translates.
Not just to add context. He don't mean like intentionally. The thing of like he's gonna hide it.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna hide it.
That's
I'm just not gonna say it. That's just not my thing. I don't come back and tell people about my day. I'm not a guy that when something cool happens, well. I get my phone out and take it Insta story. I just watch it and I just get on with it. Like, that's just my thing. I'm very unfazed by a lot of things.
Do you know what people want to know though? People want to know your story.
They do, and that's why I've tried to do it more now, but it's a very conscious effort. So at the moment, I'm trying to make more content, but I have to think about it. Whereas with Trist, it's a lot more natural. Tris is someone that shares things, so it's natural for him too. So I'm trying to now, but it doesn't come so naturally. And at the time, I didn't think I needed to do it because I was making money. Like I was making money without making content. So I was you're not making content, and I didn't want to be lumped in the same boat as those guys. And in all honesty, I didn't know how to separate myself from those guys. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make money, and then I'm just gonna take cool pictures every now and then and be like, look at all this money I've made. Instead of being online, like, hey, here's 3 tips to. I didn't want to do that.
No, it's true. It's true. So just give people a bit of context. What's been like the best month you've had recently, like in terms of like turnover or?
Generally speaking, I'd say like the best month I'd say we had probably in the last. Remember, we're not even a year in with our business, by the way.
Mad.
But yeah, I'd say probably about 80k.
And as a closer, when it was more just closing, the best month would have been for me would have been about 30. And what was it for you? About
for me, just closing.
Yeah, because I feel like that's what they can relate.
About 30, 35. Between 30 and 40.
Mad.
Yeah, that was just, but like you said, that was just closing.
That's just closing,
that's more relatable.
Not actually owning the business.
And just to be specific as well, profit. I don't want to be pompous, but like there's revenue and there's profit. I like to always separate ourselves from them boys. So when we're talking 40Ks, like we're talking profit.
Decent profit. Yeah. So in terms of, obviously that sounds good, yeah? What's been like the hardest point in that journey for you, or both of you?
Since Niche Group?
Just being in Dubai, what's been the hardest point?
My hardest point was prior to Niche Group. So when I met Cam, I was just kind of coming off my hardest point. So when I went to Dubai within about a year, near enough, it wasn't actually confirmed as that terminology, but near enough went bankrupt. Businesses all closed down, was in major debt, like had a lot of situations going on around the business that was just a hellhole. Like I just hit rock bottom while I was out there.
So you must have been panicking a bit because it's a foreign country.
Yeah, I was living in that panic. So it wasn't even like a moment. It was just like my life was just a panic. Every day was a panic. It was just stressful. It was depressing. It was just mental health was tested. Like I went offline for about a year. I involved myself in projects that I really shouldn't have involved myself in and put my name to things I shouldn't really have.
Crypto stuff.
Crypto being one of them, yeah. So yeah, just massive learning curves. But my downfalls was in Dubai via business. As to answer that in regards to Niche Group, Down period, I'd say was recently.
Yeah.
So we had to leave a lot of money on the table, realistically, to build what we've now got. So now it's we can breathe again now.
Yeah.
But about 2-3 months ago, for the last 3 months, we said no to so many clients because we was just locked into the apartment in Dubai. And we was just building this academy. It took us about 2 months, and it was about 6 months of planning.
Mad.
Yeah, that was
quite a bit of a scarier time.
It's quite hard to leave the money and just think long term and focus.
Yeah,
on
man. But we had to because when we do things, we don't half step on it. So it's like we could do dabble in both of them, but we were extreme. I came back one day, I was like, look, we're gonna do this course now, and then that was it. From then, we're signing no more clients, so we're not making money, and we're spending more than we ever spent. For 2 months, 2 to 3 months, we were just recording every day. No clients, no extra money coming in, just spending more than we've ever spent.
And I'll be honest as well, I found it quite scary because Cam had to say to me one day, like, yo, bro, I'm going to need you to kind of hold things together from a sales point of view, because Cam is behind, like, he builds the course. I do the training, but he builds it. He's built everything. So that was a bit scary because it's like, imagine you and your right hand man, you're always doing certain things, whatever that is, and then your right hand man saying, bro, I can't lie, I'm tapping out for a bit. Obviously it was for the sake of the business, but that was, I would say, a bit scary.
It's like half it's just like chopping the money in half.
Flip, man.
Yeah.
But you had to think long term, obviously.
I had to think long term. And also, bro, one thing I'll say about us as well, like, we live to cut the crap thing. So don't get me wrong, like, now it might be like business class flights and it looks all great and that, and chauffeurs and all this stuff. Don't get me wrong, like, we're grateful because we're working hard. But at the same time as well, like, if times get hard, bro, like, we'll cut the crap. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, literally.
It's not always like that as well. Even throughout building the course, it's not always like that.
Yeah.
When I was coming back, when we're building the course, if you think I'm not on the economy flight, you're
bad.
I'm on that economy flight back and
Big
forth.
And don't even get twisted, man. We'll get on an economy flight again. Like, it's not. It's not my mate. I think the biggest flex is the flexibility. Is that we can actually say, do you know what? Like, we're not doing that, or we're not going out, or we're not because we need to lock in. And right now, I can't lie, it's getting hard, bro. So business is a roller coaster, man. Anyone who tells you different is lying, man.
It's true, man. Yeah. And I feel like sometimes us as younger generation, we want to flex first and show them
100
before we actually have it.
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
So I'm going to ask you, what's like the biggest mindset tip you learned, like, that you wish you knew before going through that journey?
Mindset tip, I would say start now, perfect later. That's what I would say. That I think that would solve loads of the things I did. When I started business, I tried to do it like school because that's all I knew. Like, I got out a book, and I'm being serious, that I got a course and I got out a book and I wrote notes on the course, and I never started that. Like, I didn't start it for like 2 years. And then when I started it, I realized that everything I'd learned in the book was good, but it's like, something that Trist says is you'd be better at sales if I'd done 1,000 sales calls than if I'd read 100 sales books. So I just think, just go for it. Whatever you're doing, just make it. You're going to be shit when you start, and that's fine. But you're always going to look back and think it's shit. Like, even now, I'm going to look back on content I made a year ago and think it's shit. That's fine. That's a good thing. That means you're growing. So that's over everything. I would just say, just start.
My one would be cut the crap. Like, the cut the crap thing for us, especially for me prior, is a lot deeper rooted. So it's not just a brand. Obviously now it's doing amazing things, but originally it was based on me realizing that like you said, all of these things that I had achieved, and like the cars, the clothes, the houses, the lifestyle, etc., like, they're all masks, really. Like, and sometimes we get attached to those things, and especially in business, you shouldn't. Like, you need to be able to always detach from those things, because it will make your decisions that you make in business like jaded. So cutting the crap was like me realizing, okay, do you know what? Forget all of this. This ain't why people connect to my content, because I drive this car or because I got this watch, etc. It's actually in me. And when I realized that, which only really came from massive downfall and being stripped of a lot of things, it changed the game for me. It made me realize that, okay, it even made me more confident, because it made me like, now I can go into any room and I can talk about losses with my head held high. A lot of people wouldn't, just because I've realised like all that mask and all that stuff doesn't actually matter.
But it's hard though, because I feel like especially in sales, people take you on face value. So how you look and present,
Big
yourself,
facts.
people think, okay, he's this kind of type of person.
That's the trap. That is a trap that I fell into. That's a trap a lot of my friends and peers fell into, because we're in high ticket sales. We're working in the finest buildings in London. Like, we're making 200, 300, 400k a year, and we're 22, 23 years old. So for us, we're programmed to get the finest suits and go to the finest restaurants and do everything at the finest level, because that energy does transfer over a telephone. It does transfer to a sales call. You do have a different kind of confidence. So it's a trap, but at the same time, I think when you really get to that real success is when you can master both. So for example, now I can transfer energy through a phone call even if I was dead broke. I don't need to have my watch on, bro. I don't need to be in my car. I don't need to have these things anymore. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to be like one of those guys. Like, we still enjoy these things and there's still goals, etc., but I just don't need it. Like, whereas I feel like before, I built a lot of my success or character on those things. They were like the pillars, you know.
I love that, man. That's sick.
Yeah.
So I've got a little challenge for you.
Tell me.
So say we went back, and I dropped you into Dubai. You had £0, or say £50.
0 dirhams.
Yeah. You got 50 dirhams.
Yeah.
Oh, that ain't gonna get you.
Yeah, that's a tenner, mate.
How are you building your first 10k a month business? Like, what's your process?
I know what I would do. I would just I need access to the internet, so I'm gonna go somewhere get access to the internet. I'm just gonna get on Upwork and just start selling.
Yeah, you'll get Upwork.
I get to 10k a month. Give me a month.
He's an Upwork master.
What are you selling on Upwork? What are you gonna?
That's the thing. I could if you stripped my skills as well, and I just had that, I would do marketing just because that's what I did before. But if I couldn't do that, then all I'd do is I'd find something. I'd use my sales skills to sell it for high, and then I'd find someone else on Upwork who's selling it for low, and I'd be like, hey, you fulfill this, I'm gonna get you all the clients. You fulfill it for cheap, and bam, I'll be at 10k.
Yeah, that's it, man.
But I want people to know that can be done quickly. Like, with the skills that you have, it could be done quickly. Like, genuinely, within a month, I might even do a YouTube
It'll be good to see
series.
that, man. Yeah.
Within a month, I would be at 10k. Like, no questions
asked.
asked. 100%.
What would be your
So you're saying starting from 0 and then just getting 10k, just
say
generally?
you got 50, you're in Dubai, and you need to build up a business of 10k a month.
I think my main thing, especially now, would be what can I offer my audience that will be demanded and there'll be a price point on. So, for example, we see courses, academies, these kind of things like membership clubs as like mixtapes and albums. So now my whole thing is, effectively we're the artists, right? That's dropping these mixtapes and albums. So now if I needed to go from 0 to 10k again, I would just work out what the best album is I can make and then position that in a way where I can sell it, and then I'd make that money. Now, I'm blessed because if you took all the money away, I'm lucky to still have a following. Now, even if you took social media away, I'm lucky that I've actually touched people, like, in the sense of like people really have connected with my journey. So even if God forbid, Instagram was to shut me down, God forbid, and I had to start a new channel from scratch, first thing I'm doing is calling a couple of the man them that have got the following. Yo, bro, give me a shout out. Get a couple I've just got really good relationships. Couple blogs will probably post me out. Cool, now I got the following. Cool, now what can I sell? Like, what can I sell? Obviously, right now it's sales training, but like, I'm very well versed and I've got a lot of soft skills. So God forbid if sales training wasn't working, go back to branding, go back to marketing. I could do mindset classes. Like, I could do affirmation classes. Like, I could. Do you know what I mean? There's so many, again, because of the soft skills and the experiences.
Yeah. So you basically educate yourself first, get the skills, and then sell that through. Platform.
Master something and sell that.
The skills never leave you. You know, that's why there's never a worry. Like, genuinely, like the skills that you get. Like, I can sign clients. That's the skill that I've got, and I'm gonna have that forever. Now it doesn't matter what realm it's in, what's happening. I know how to talk to someone who doesn't know me, and in the next hour, you've now paid me 5, 10, 15 grand. And if I know how to do that, then I'm always cool.
We had an interesting interview, or street interview, I think last week, and I was like, okay, like how do you make money? How do you make money? He's like, well, what skill do you have? And it's like, you're asking the wrong question. How to make money depends what you have, what skills you have for someone else.
Always the skills.
And I thought that was so interesting. Just flipping the mindset of upskill yourself so you can add value to people around you.
100%.
It's skills first, man. That's why what we're selling is the sales training is our number one thing. It's like, get the skill of sales. It's the skill of sales you're gonna have forever, and if you have it forever, then you're good.
Bro, I still get on calls now and I say the same thing I said in 2012. Deep that. Like, it's 2023, and I'll still say the same things that I said in 2012, and it still can make me £10,000, £15,000, £20,000, and it did that at 21 years old, and now I'm 32.
That's mad.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. So is content going to be a bigger part of what you're doing then? You can do more content?
We got loads already
definitely.
done, to be honest. Like, you see us with us as well documenting. We got a videographer full-time back there, and when we're here, we got the same. We got a docu-series that's launching this month, October. That is the documentary of the tour we done earlier in the year. Then on top of that, we've got loads of YouTube content. We've got some already done. Like, we're loading up. Like, the reason why we're taking our time is because when we start, we don't want to stop. We've got a podcast we're going to start filming this week, me and Cam, called Cutting the Crap. I still got Brand Therapy podcast going. I've got a few episodes to release on that. We're about to do a marketing campaign across all the blogs and social media. Like, so everything starts now. This is the first of our tour as well. We've got, obviously, this tour. We're going Birmingham later on in the week. We've got a few more in London. We're going to be jumping on a couple other platforms.
I don't know how you got the time, man.
Bro, do you know what it is? It's our life, man. This is our life. Like, 100%. This is our life, bro.
Well, it doesn't change. So, like, today, Sunday, we'll wake up, work. It's like the days actually don't matter.
Did you hear Meek say that? I just watched on the way when I was on the way here. Meek Mill, Rick Ross, they had a little interview, and they're basically coming out as a duo. And Meek was saying, like, when you're living like this, in the sense of like pursuing your dream, like the days are just blurred. It's like the days are just blurred. Like, they don't even matter. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't even matter, bro. We 100%. Wake up and
we had a big busy day yesterday that we were preparing for ages, and then that's done, and now that's out the way. Like, that's done. Like, now we're here. Now we're here again. Now we're making calls this morning. Now we're doing this. Now it's work again. Monday, same thing again. It's like every day is just packed up, man.
But that's the thing, because you think you're working hard, but you're not working hard enough. Like, I think Grant Cardone was like, if you want to 10x your earnings, you have to 10x your work rate.
I think I slightly disagree with that, and I'll tell you why I slightly disagree with that. Because for me, I'm big on work smart, leveraging. So if I think about some of the peaks financially in my career, wasn't necessarily when I was selling. It was when I had other people selling, and I was getting percentage of these companies because I was training them. So I could technically have my feet on a desk, and in the space of an hour, 10 people have just closed deals. In 1 hour, I can only close about 1 to 2 deals, me one. In 1 hour, if 10 people close, I've 10x'd. Do you get what I mean?
I think the hard work thing, I think it just sounds good. Like, it does just sound good. It's like, if you ask anyone what got them to where they, like, to success, they have to say that they worked harder than everyone. They're not gonna get online and say, look, I got there because I'm smarter than you and I'm better than you. You can't say that. So you have to just say, oh, I worked harder than everyone. It sounds good, but like, there's people that work harder than me. There's nothing I can do about that.
Cam said the other day, he said, bro, like, a lot of people in the industries that we're in, like the type of industries and spaces that we're in, if we're being honest, bro, we don't work hard, bro. I tell you who works hard. Like, no, being really honest, bro.
100%.
Like, I tell you who works hard, like construction workers,
100%.
like street sweepers, dustbin men, like they work hard, bro. Obviously, people probably will have a bit of a debate with this. They're signaling you there. They'll probably have a debate with this, and people might not agree. I don't really mind, but I personally think that like the whole work hard thing. What is hard work?
That's what I want to say, because this, I'll be honest, this isn't hard, bro.
Yeah, what is hard work?
To really be honest, I woke up, I got on a few Zoom calls this morning. Like, you might say it's working hard, it's harder than staying in bed, but it's like, it's easier than going out for a run. Like, I woke up, I got on Zoom, I didn't, the camera wasn't on, I was wearing my dressing gown, made a few calls, I ate breakfast, I got on a cab, and I came here to do this. Like, I think people just glamorize the hard work. It's like, it makes it seem like, oh my gosh, I've been working so hard. I've been all right today, man. Like,
I think people misplace the word as well with consistent. So, and don't get me wrong, I'm saying all this, I may slip up in the caption and say this, like, I'll say that we work so hard. But it's not so much that we work so hard, it's that we work consistently.
That's true.
We work consistently. Do you get what I mean?
That's the thing with me, because you're not always waking up motivated. Like, this morning you might not be motivated, but you need to keep going.
Consistency.
I think that's hardest when you start out, though, because you see now I can't not work. There's too many people that are accountable. People's wages got to get paid now. It's, you can't. You see, when you start and you've got nothing, it also feels like if you don't do anything that day, it's not going to make a difference. You see, like, if we take a day off now, if me or Trist takes a day off now, it's actually going to make a very big difference. You see, when you start out, one day actually doesn't make a difference. But if you have that mindset, then you're going to take 1 day, 2 day, 3 days, 4, and now you're going to take a month off, and now that's going to make a huge difference. So yeah, I feel like the consistency is hardest when you first start. Like once you've established yourself, it's easy to keep going.
That's so true, man. So what? Just to round off, what does the future look like for you? Like in the next 5 years, where do you want to be?
Future looks bright, my guy.
Future looks bright. It's blinding.
Yeah. So yeah, just building. I think we have a goal of really dominating the sales space globally as well. I definitely think next year we're going to do a lot more in America. Obviously, that's kind of the home of remote closing. Right now, we're just attacking UK.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's just dominating the sales space, dominating the internet, and just becoming known for what we do. Like just known for these are the sales guys.
100%.
Like, I want people to, especially from my point of view as a sales trainer as well, I want people to, like, see, you mentioned Grant Cardone. You probably know, like, Hormozy, and then there's Jeremy Minor. There's only a few names. There's about less than 10. I need to be one of those names.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think we've made so many pivots and things have been so hectic that for the next 5 years, if they can look the same as what our day-to-day looks like now, then that's a success.
That's it.
Yeah, the other day I said to Cam, like, there's not much in my life I'll change now other than more money. Like, everyone would say that, innit? We all want more money and a few more things. But generally, I want it like this, but just gets 10x, innit, really?
But it will be. Like, that's the thing. If we keep going this way, like, if the days still go like this for the next 5 years, then it just naturally will be.
Perfect.
Come on, my guy. Big up Venture Room, man. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us, man.
Thanks.
Nice
Keep doing what you're doing as well, man.
Thank you, man. Thanks for watching, guys. That was a sick episode. Make sure you reach out to Trist and Cam. They've got some big things going on. You can follow us on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram at The Venture Room, and we'll see you on the next one.